Whilst many are trying to find their footing with the new normal, today I'm chatting to someone who is no stranger to adapting very quickly to worst-case scenarios. Sihle Bolani may be a strategic brand communications consultant, writer, public speaker and single mom. However, her story has been everything but predictable. Welcome to The Loft, Sihle.
Thank you so much for having me.
What made you abandon corporate SA and pave your own path in the communication space?
As a young black girl in South Africa, so there were numerous experiences that kind of started making me realize that actually maybe corporate is not quite the right space for me. But it wasn't until around 2015 that I had a horrendous experience with a line manager when I was still employed, and I went through depression. I had the worst time. I was hospitalized from stress and anxiety and all of these things. I was at risk of having a heart attack, and I then realized that actually I need to get out for the sake of my own health. And that really is essentially what led me to kind of going, okay, I need to figure out a life outside of corporate SA. I had always thought that, when I'm probably in my 40s, I'd probably start my own business at some point and start consulting. I never imagined that would be in my 30s. So life had a very interesting way of showing me who's boss.
Yeah, and you took that and you ran with it. I mean, this led you to write your very own book. You are an author, girl. We are the ones we need. Now, what was the motivation behind this book? I know you already said you found yourself in quite an interesting predicament where you needed to kind of take charge. And why was this so important to you?
I think one of the biggest things for me about writing the book was that I realized that a number of things. The first thing was that if I'm going through such a horrible experience as a young black woman in corporate SA, then I definitely am not the only person. And then I began to realize that more people were going through the similar experiences, but did not have either the courage or the space to be able to share those experiences. And so what was happening is we'll talk about it when we're all in the kitchen together as black people, at the office or around the corner or in our little WhatsApp groups. But when we actually have forums at work for equity or, equality or transformation, people didn't feel comfortable actually voicing their experiences and saying that this environment that we're working in is inequitable, it's unequal, it is intolerant of blackness, because people are afraid of losing their jobs. And I found that I was in a very unique position at the time because I wasn't employed, so I wasn't worried about job security. I wasn't worried about being hauled in front of a disciplinary committee or being told that I'm contravening some sort of social media policy. And so I decided to use my voice and my platform to be able to share the stories of black professionals with our voices, and to actually detail what our experiences are like, what are the different microaggressions that we experience in the workplace, and how they actually impact on us, on our ability to fulfill our functions, on our ability to progress within the corporate ladder, but also on our mental health, because these are issues that we don't discuss enough.
Yeah. Now, Sihle, the best laid out plans are no match to a global crisis. No one can predict a pandemic. So how have you been able to remain flexible in your strategic planning and think quickly on your feet when you're faced with adversity and opposition?
I mean, I won't lie, it's been a very interesting year because obviously, the year starts and we all go, okay, 2020, this is going to be the year, okay? Thank you, goodbye 2019, we're done. And there were so many things that even I had planned for this year. I mean, we went through May and I was like, I'm supposed to be in Atlanta.
Oh, no.
That's supposed to be happening right now, But I think that, my journey as an entrepreneur over the past, this is my 5th year now, has really forced me to always be able to remain agile. And so what this pandemic has meant was that I had to really think differently about how I continue to give information or give access or to interact with the communities that I have and to continue to build my profile and share my skills and abilities to attract new clients. And so I've had to think about, so if people are mostly at home and not going out much, what are they paying attention to? Where are they spending their time? What types of conversations are they having? And I think that that's one of the biggest things that all of us need to think about if we are either business owners or even if you're employed and you're servicing a particular market. This time was forcing all of us to be a lot more reflective and think about whether what we've been doing is actually the right thing to do. But also understanding the fact that, you know, everything that we're going through now with this pandemic is going to influence what happens going forward. And for me, some of the key observations that have come out, I mean, I'm obviously in the space that deals a lot with organizational culture and transformation within the workplace. And so a lot of the things that have come out for me is just seeing how even now that people are working from home, they're still experiencing toxic work cultures within the workplace.
We do know the challenges that the country faces right now, but I want to remain positive because the mind that knows the solution knows the cause, and we can fix it together. So marketing this book, much like all your other endeavors, you've had to champion and chair by yourself. No money, no support, and no help coming anytime soon. Now, a lot of South Africans find themselves in that position right now. How have you been able, or rather managed, to keep motivated and innovative and communicating with no capital or team?
I think when I first started on this journey of entrepreneurship, I probably made the same mistake that a lot of people make, which is feeling like because you went through a bad experience that then the world owes you something, and so things should come to you, things should be easier because you've already been through a hard time, and that's just not the way that it works. And over time, I've had to learn to be a lot more resourceful. And what that has meant for me is that I have to spend a lot more time researching what is possible where I am with what I have. So I very much am about being able to build things, properties or offerings that I'm able to build, maintain, sustain myself, that are not reliant on other people. And so I've had to research different platforms. I've had to research what are the biggest trends that are going on around the world for what I do, what is suitable for my audience and my market. And I think that's what people need to learn to do. I've had to learn how to do my own websites. I've had to learn how to do my own social media management, and what works and doesn't work, and what aesthetics are right for my environment. Understanding who are my competitors, what are they doing, and what's working, and what can I learn from that. I think people underestimate the amount of time that you actually have to spend understanding your environment, understanding how to reach your audience, and understanding how to package what it is that you're trying to sell in a way that will make it attractive to the people that you're trying to reach.
A mouthful indeed, but some gems indeed, because a lot of people right now feel like this task is bigger than them. They feel overwhelmed and they feel a little unmotivated. So I truly hope that Sihle Bolani's word, South Africa, has resonated with each and every person here. Even though it seems like you're hopeless and you're down in the trenches, there are support structures that are side by side with you, helping you. So head over to Sihle's social media platforms and find those support structures that you so desperately need. Sihle Bolani, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Now, Sihle has had a long journey in her career as the underdog, no stranger to fighting for what she believes. This phenomenal woman proves that she can do anything and make anything happen. It's never too late to pick up the pieces and start anew.